Good morning, guys. Chapter 3, Matteo, 1:06 a.m. I'm back in my bedroom. So much for never returning here again, and I immediately feel better. Like I just got an extra life in a video game where the final boss was kicking my backside. I'm not naive about dying. I know it's going to happen, but I don't have to rush into it. I'm buying myself more time. A longer life is all I've ever wanted, and I have the power not to shoot that dream in the foot by walking out that front door, especially this late at night. I jump into bed with the kind of relief you'd only find when you're waking up for school and realise it's Saturday. I throw my blanket around my shoulders, hop back on my laptop, and ignoring the email from Deathcast with the time-stamped receipt of my call from Andrea, continue reading yesterday's countdowners post from before I got the call. The decker was 22-year-old Keith. His statuses didn't provide much context about his life, only that he'd been a loner who preferred runs with his golden retriever, Turbo, instead of social outings with his classmates. He was looking to find Turbo a new home because he was pretty sure his father would give ownership of Turbo to the first available person, which could be anyone because Turbo is so beautiful. Hell, I would have adopted him even though I'm severely allergic to dogs. But before Keith gave up his dog, he and Turbo were running through their favourite spots one last time, and the feed stopped somewhere in Central Park. I don't know how Keith died. I don't know if Turbo made it out alive or if he died with Keith. I don't know what would have been preferred for Keith or Turbo. I don't know. I could look into any muggings or murders in Central Park yesterday around 5:40 p.m. when the feed stopped, but for my sanity, this is better left a mystery. Instead, I open up my music folder and play space sounds. A couple of years ago, some NASA team created this special instrument to record the sounds of different planets. I know, it sounded weird to me too, especially because all the movie I've watched telling me about how there isn't sound in space. Except there is. It just exists in magnetic vibrations. NASA converted the sounds to so the human ear could hear them, and even though I was hiding out in my room, I stumbled on something magical from the universe, something those who don't follow what's trending online would miss out on. Some of the planets sound ominous, like something you would find in a science fiction movie set in some alien world. Alien world, as in the world with aliens, not non-Earth world. Neptune sounds like a fast current. Saturday has this terrifying howling to it that I never listen to anymore. And the same goes for Uranus, except there are harsh winds whistling that sound like spaceships firing lasers at each other. The sound of the planets make for a great conversation starter if you have people to talk to. But if you don't, they make for great white noise when you're going to sleep. I distract myself from my end day by reading more countdowners feeds and by playing the Earth track, which always reminds me of soothing bird song and that low sound whales make. But it also feels a bit off, something suspicious. I can't put my finger on. A lot like Pluto, which is both seashell and snake hiss. I switch to the Neptune track. Rufus, 1:18 a.m. We're riding to Pluto in the dead of the night. Pluto is the name we came up for our foster home we're all staying at since our families died or turned their backs on us. Pluto got demoted from planet to dwarf planet, but we've never treated each other as something lesser. It's been 4 months that I've been without my people, but Tago and Malcolm have been getting cosy with each other a lot longer. Malcolm's parents died in a house fire caused by some unidentified arsonist. Whoever it was, Malcolm hopes he's burning in hell for taking away his parents when he was a 13-year-old troublemaker. No one else wanted except the system, and barely even them. Tago's mum bounced when he was a kid, and his pops ran off 3 years ago when he couldn't keep up with the bills. A month later, Tago found out his pops had committed suicide, and Homeboy still hasn't shed a tear over the guy. Never even asked how or where he died. Even before I found out I was dying, I knew home. Pluto wasn't going to be home for me much longer. My 18th birthday is coming up. Same for Tago and Malcolm, who both hit 18 in November. I was college bound like Tago, and we'd figured Malcolm would crash with us as he gets his shit together. Who knows what's what's what now, and I hate that I already have an out to these problems. But right now, all that matters is we're still together. I got Malcolm and Tago by my side, and like they've been from day one when I got to the home, whether it was for family time or bitching sessions, they were always at my left and right. I wasn't planning on stopping, but I pull over when I see the church I came to a month after the big accident. My first weekend out with Amy. The building is massive with off-white bricks and maroon steeple. I'd love to take a picture of the stained glass windows, but the flash might not catch it right. Doesn't matter anyway. If a picture is Instagram worthy, I slap on the moon filter for a classic black and white effect. The real problem is I don't think a photo of a church taken by a non-believing ass is the best last thing to leave behind for my 70 followers. Hashtag not happening. What's good, Ruth? This is the church where Amy played piano for me, I say. Amy is pretty Catholic, but she wasn't pushing any of that on me. We'd been talking about music, and I mentioned digging some of the classical stuff Olivia used to put on when she was studying, and Amy wanted me to hear it live, and she wanted to be the one who played it for me. I have to tell her I got the alert. Tago's twitches. I'm sure he's itching to remind me that Amy said she needs space for me, but those kinds of requests get tossed out the window on end days. I climb off the bike, throwing down the kickstand. I don't go far from them, just closer to the entrance, right as a priest is escorting a crying woman out of the church. She's knocking her rings together, topaz, I think, like the kind my mum once pawned when she wanted to buy Olivia concert tickets for her 30th birthday. This woman has got to be a Decker, or no one. The graveyard shift here is no joke. Malcolm and Tago are always mocking the churches that shun death cast and their unholy visions from Satan. But it's dope how some nuns and priests keep busy way past midnight for Deckers trying to repent, get baptised and all that good stuff. If there's a God guy out there like my mum believed, I hope he's got my back right now. I call Amy, it rings 6 times before going to voicemail. I call again, it's the same thing. I try again, and it only rings 3 times before going to voicemail. She's ignoring me. I type out a text. Deathcast called me. Maybe you can too? Nah, I can't be a dick and send that. I correct myself. Deathcast called me. Can you call me back? My phone goes off before a minute can pass. A regular ring, not that heart-stopping Deathcast alert. It's Amy. Hey, are you serious? Amy asks. If I weren't serious, she'd certainly kill me for crying wolf. Tago once played that game for attention and Amy shut that down real fast. Yeah, I gotta see you. Where are you? There's no edge to her voice and she's not trying to hang up on me like she has on recent calls. I'm by the church you took me to, actually. I say, it's mad peaceful, like I could stay here all day and make it to tomorrow. I'm with Malcolm and Tago. Why aren't you at Pluto? What are you guys doing out on a Monday night? I need more time before answering this, maybe another 80 years, but I don't have that and I don't want to man up to it right now. We're heading back to Pluto now. Can you meet us there? What? No, stay at the church and I'll come to you. I'm not dying before I can make it back to you, trust. You're not invincible, dumbass. Amy is crying now and her voice is shaking like that time we got caught in the rain without jackets. Oh, God, I'm sorry, but you know how many Deckers make those promises and then pianos fall on their heads? I'm gonna guess not many, I say. Death by piano doesn't seem like a high probability. This is not funny, Rufus. I'm getting dressed. Do not move. I'll be 30 minutes tops. I hope she's going to be able to forgive me for everything, tonight included. I'll get to her before Peck can, and I'll tell my side. I'm sure Peck is going to go home, clean himself up, and call Amy off his brother's phone to tell her what a monster I am. He'd better not call the cops, though. I'd be spending my end day behind bars, or maybe find myself on the wrong end of some officer's club. I don't want to think about any of that. I just want to get to Amy and say goodbye to the Plutos as the friend they know I am, not the monster I was tonight. Meet me at home. Just get to me. Bye, Amy. I hang up before she can protest. I get my bike, climbing on as she calls non-stop. What's the plan, Malcolm asks. We're going back to Pluto, I tell them. You guys are going to throw me a funeral. I check the time. 1:30. There's still time for the other Plutos to get the alert. I'm not wishing it on them, but maybe I won't have to die alone. Or maybe that's how it has to be. Mateo, 1:32 a.m. Scrolling through countdowners is a very serious downer, but I can't look away because every registered decker has a story they want to share. And when someone puts their journey out there for you to watch, you pay attention, even if you know they'll die at the end. If I'm not going outside, I can be online for others. There are 5 tabs on the site: popular, new, local, promoted, random, and I browse through local searches first, as usual, to make sure I don't recognise anyone. No one? Good. It could have been nice to have some company today. I guess I randomly select a decker. Username Jeff, Nevada 88. Jeff received his call 4 minutes after midnight and is already out in the world, heading to his favourite bar, where he hopes he doesn't get carded because he's 20-year-old, who's recently lost his fake ID. I'm sure he'll get through okay. I pin his feed and will receive a chime next time he updates. I switch to another feed, username Web Maven Mark. Mark is a former social media manager for a soda company, which he's mentioned twice in his profile, and he isn't sure if his daughter will reach him in time. It's almost as if this decker is right in front of me, snapping his fingers in my face. I have to visit Dad, even if he's unconscious. He has to know I made my way to him before I died. I put down my laptop, ignoring the chimes from the couple accounts I've pinned, and go straight to Dad's bedroom. His bed was unmade the morning he left for work, but I've made it for him since then, making sure to tuck the comforter completely under the pillows, as he prefers it. I sit on his side of the bed, the right side, since my mother apparently always favoured the left, and even with her gone, he still lives his life in 2 sides, never riding her out. And I pick up the framed photo of Dad helping me blow out candles of my Toy Story cake on my 6th birthday. Well, Dad did all the work. I was laughing at him. He says the gleeful look on my face is why he keeps the picture so close. I know it's sort of strange, but Dad is just as much my best friend as Lydia is. I could never admit that out loud without someone making fun of me, I'm sure. But we've always had a great relationship. Not perfect, but I'm sure every 2 people out there in my school, in this city, on the other side of the world, struggle with dumb and important things, and the closest pairs just find a way to get over them. Dad and I would never have one of those relationships where we had a falling out and never talked to each other again. Not like these deckers on some countdowners feeds who hate their fathers so much they either never visited them on their deathbeds or refused to make amends before they themselves died. I slipped the photo out of the frame, folded it, and put it in my pocket. The creases don't bother Dad, I don't think, and get up to go to the hospital and say goodbye and make sure this photo is by his side when he finally wakes up. I want to make sure he quickly finds some peace, like it's an ordinary morning, before someone tells him I'm gone. I leave his room, pumped to go out and do this, when I see the stack of dishes in the sink. I should clean those up so Dad doesn't come home to dirty plates and mugs with impossible stains from all the hot chocolate I've been drinking. I swear, this isn't an excuse not to go outside. Seriously. Okay, and we'll stop there. And I will see you again a bit later. Bye.